Mario still leads on lap 65. Foyt regains the lead on lap 66. It's a real battle for first. Unser is third. Foyt runs out of fuel on the last lap, and Mario inherits the lead. The finish line is in sight. Bobby Unser finishes second. McCluskey third, and Foyt coasted in for fifth. What a finish! This was Mario's first championship win, one of many to come on road circuits during his career.
The pace has not let up. Session, in a front-engine roadster, streaks down the backstretch. He's in trouble, spins out. This second mishap brings out the yellow flag. Sessions hopes to get restarted before the race ends. The pace car is out, and the action slowed for the fourth time today. McCluskey, dragging a body panel, goes inside the oil slick. With one lap remaining, it's doubtful that we'll have any more racing. With the finish line less than a mile away, Andretti is assured of his first victory at Langhorne. It's a great day for the little Italian from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Andretti established an American record for the mile and led the 22-car field wire to wire for his second consecutive win on the championship trail. His Clint Bronner-tuned, rear-engine, funny car is last year's model, but it performed flawlessly today. Andretti was only pressured when the caution flags allowed the ranks to close, but he had the power and handling to pull away and was never seriously challenged. There it is, another Langhorne Classic in the books. The average speed was slow due to the 30 laps run under caution.
AJ builds a small lead and makes a quick check of his tread as the race winds down. It looks like it's going to be a wire-to-wire drive, but on lap 98, the brake pedal snaps off. AJ brushes the outside wall, then continues on. Mario takes advantage, leading only the final 3 laps on his way to his 6th win of the year.
This is the scene in the closing moments. The white flag, 1 lap for Mario Andretti. And Andy Granatelli can hardly stand it. Finally slipping on his red victory jacket. He still won't talk to anybody. And the crowd beginning to pay its tribute to Andretti. The young man who came to this country at the age of 14 as an immigrant from Italy. He had driven racing cars even before he came over here. This was the one he wanted more than anything else in the world. And here it comes, Mario. The checkered flag of victory. He's done it. And look at this scene in the pit.
tell you, you can just touch the top of the light pole sometimes, as happened out here earlier today. Look at this.
Here we see Steven just can't hold that car down, and those wheels just kiss.
White flag, 1 lap to go. This is it. It's down for it. Andretti is in the lead. Second place is car number 16, Johnny Parsons. Third is Steve. Fourth is Unser. Fifth is Pancho Carter. A correction, Krisolov is showing fifth. Then comes Pancho Carter in sixth. Down for it. 7, Andretti in front, half a lap to go. Trouble up in turn 2, right in front of Andretti. A car is spun. He gets around it. Coming down for the finish. A car has spun at turn 3 is where it is spun, just on the dog leg. Here's Mario Andretti getting by that car, which spun off the course. And for the first time since 1973, and the track in which he last won, the world champion Mario Andretti of Nazareth, Pennsylvania, has won in United States Auto Club Championship Racing.
This man alone in the history of this sport is the only one ever to have won the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 500, and the World Grand Prix Driving Championship. An extraordinary achievement, and it'll put him in the history books forever as he takes the white flag, the last lap here at the Road America 200.
Mario Andretti is really a household word, Brock. When the cop stops you and give you a speeding ticket, he says, "Who do you think you are, Mario Andretti?"
No question about it. There have only been 3 or 4 people in the history of the sport that have been synonymous with race driving, and Mario Andretti, along with, I suppose, Barney Oldfield and A.J. Foyt and perhaps Tazio Nuvolari, are the only ones. And worldwide, he is one of the most famous and certainly one of the most successful drivers ever. And a nice man as well, a real gentleman.
You know, I think at this moment, Brock, is when you start hearing things, you start imagining things are happening possibly. When you're this close to a victory, the engine sputters a little bit, you think, oh, I'm out of fuel.
Well, I'm sure he's looking at that fuel pressure gauge, which the car carries, and watching that needle very closely and watching his revs, because he's got himself a very solid lead, and it would be one of the most awesome failures and imaginable to have that thing sputter to a stop right now with only less than 2 miles left. He's about halfway around this 4-mile racetrack here at Elkhart Lake and running smoothly, unchallenged, and got to be thinking about things, though. You're right. He's hearing all sorts of things, I'm sure, right now. He's had clutch problems. He's had to manually kick that thing in and out of gear without the clutch most of the days. He goes past an emergency vehicle. Derek Daly, by the way, has gotten off on the grass, and that's why those vehicles are out there. No problem, really. No injuries or anything. As Mario slides through turn 12, notorious today. Boy, we've seen some real action on that corner.
So Mario Andretti just 2 turns away from winning the Road America 200 and probably holding his breath right now, as is everybody in his pit.
Boy, oh boy. One last hill to climb, up that little incline, up the big, long main straightaway. In a couple of seconds, he'll be able to see that checkered flag hanging out there, which means victory. Now he can't lose. There, across the finish line, a victory to Steve Evans.
The white flag. Nick Finaro, the starter, shows it to the leader, Mario Andretti, and to John Paul Jr. in second place. A little less than a mile now if John Paul Jr. is to get past Mario Andretti.
I don't think so, Paul. He's losing ground, but by the same token, remember, the mechanical difficulties could happen any time. It happened to me many times, and it could happen to Mario.
Mario Andretti now with slower cars in front of him between he and the checkered flag as Andretti comes alongside Steve Chassis. Chassis doesn't see him, but Andretti gets past. Chassis almost turned into him. Now John Paul Jr. comes off the corner, but Mario Andretti wins the Las Vegas 200. John Paul Jr. comes across the line in second place, and that Budweiser crew begins a celebration as Carl Haas, the owner, begins throwing kisses to everybody. Nick Finaro has the white flag. A little over a mile and a half for Mario Andretti. Brabham in second place. Sneva in third. Sneva's apparently done some practicing on road courses over the winter. But look at Andretti. Oh, Mario, there's not a lot you can say about that. He's run all day in this kind of a fashion. It looks like the car has been on rails. There's Jeff Brabham still in second place, about a minute and 5 seconds back. Young Mike Andretti stayed in the fight. He's currently running in 10th place despite his early problems with a wing. Once
he got the wing fixed, he really started to fly, but he was already too far back. Brabham's car falters just a bit. Here's Tom Sneva. Tom went back to driving school over the winter, learned how to handle these road courses. It's paid off. He's currently running in third. There is Crawford and Fittipaldi right behind your fourth and fifth position cars. And Crawford with just a wonderful run. Now Mario Andretti, he's being ever so careful. Double clutching every shift up and down. Taking ever so much care of this race car. A turn to the right. Off of the Seaside Way stretch. The 10th turn, the crowd already going berserk with a victory for Andretti. His second here in Long Beach. He heads for the international hairpin. Listen to the crowd. Andretti accelerates off that last turn. There's the checkered flag for Mario Andretti. 55,000 people cheer for Andretti. His first kart victory at Long Beach. The white flag out for Mario Andretti, just one lap to go. There he gets his first glimpse of his son Michael's car against the wall. He looks over there. I'm sure that Michael made every effort to be visible as he came by.
Sure he did. He probably was out of our shot and he was waving, because that would be excruciating.
Mario Andretti, certainly a lot of worry, closes up behind Al Holbert. Less than a lap to go now. A race that we thought would see rain the entire way. The course dry just before the start. Mario Andretti started on the pole. It was his 11th road course pole.
This has been one of the most interesting races I've seen in a long time, Paul, because of the type of track, the rain, the racing that we've seen. It's really been good today.
There's the crew, Maggie Smith and everyone. They're not going to celebrate yet. There's still quite a few turns to go. Mario has the command, though. He's in charge. Car number 3, that Budweiser Lola. Turn number 11, a sweeper back to the left. Now he can see the checkered flag ahead of him.
Here.
Nick Bonoro has it. Mario Andretti flashes past, and Mario Andretti wins the first race at the Meadowlands. And look at the crew now. They've got it. No more worry. Daryl Soppy takes off his headphones. He doesn't have to worry about it. And the pit board out to Mario Andretti states it all. We win.
Andretti continues to lead the 500 as we are watching the white flag comes out for Mario Andretti. Now Sneva closes up. This is where it tells. Scotty Brayton is right in front of Andretti. Andretti closes down on top of Sneva, shuts the door on him. Scotty Brayton surely knows that the leaders are coming behind him. Less than 2 miles to go now. Now just at 1 mile to go. Down the backstretch. Here is Andretti. This is where the race was decided last year. What will happen here in 84? Andretti down through turn 3. Through turn 3, through turn 4. Sneva's trying him on the inside. An accident on the backstretch. An accident on the backstretch. As they come to the line, they'll see the yellow flag and the checkered flag. And Mario Andretti appears to win the race, but boy, it was close. It was close with an accident on the backstretch at the same time, similar to last year.
And the white flag comes out for Mario Andretti. He has 4 miles to go, one trip around this Road America course, and he'll win the Provimi Veal 200. We already thank the technical crew of ESPN for the performance this weekend. There's some other people we would like to thank. Our helicopter shots that you have seen throughout the telecast, provided by pilot Don Warner. Also, we'd like to thank the Provimi Veal people, Ott Grunenfeld and his public relations people who have treated us extremely well this weekend, and Dick Miller, of course, the public relations director for Provimi Veal, and the general manager of this racetrack, Tom Watson, who has also provided us some very, very nice things this weekend. Thanks to all of you. We have had a great time here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
Well, Mario taking a little wide coming through turn number 4. Now he's in the hurry downs area, going downhill, kind of snaking toward the carousel coming up, which is one of the fastest corners on this racetrack.
Mario Andretti will win his second race in a row and his 4th this year. He was the winner in the very first race at Long Beach, also won at the Meadowlands on the road course, and also won the Michigan 500 just a couple of weeks ago. This will be his 4th victory of the season and will indeed move him into the points lead over Tom Sneva. And by the way, Andretti is the defending champion of this race, so it'll be 2 in a row here at Road America.
And it will be the first time since 1969, the year in which he won the Indianapolis 500, that Mario Andretti Andretti has been the points leader at the mid-season point of the points trail. Almost hard to imagine that a man with such skills who has done so many great things behind the wheel of a race car. This is the first time he has led the points this late in the season since 1969. Here he comes for checker, Bob.
Mario Andretti from Nazareth, Pennsylvania, moves uphill, goes under the bridge, and takes the checkered flag as the winner of the Provimi-Veal 200. Mario Andretti has won. Bobby Rahal will finish in second position. Mario has the hand raised already, waving to the crowd. Into turn number 1, Andretti has won again on the PPG IndyCar Trail.
Here's the start-finish line, the white flag from Nick Finoro as Andretti begins his last lap here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. He is looking for victory in the Escort Radar Warning 200. The pit crew, you can see Darryl Salvi, the crew chief. Boy, they're really uptight about this one, aren't they? Boy, when things go well, after you've worked all year or all month or all week, it's a good feeling.
You know, it's about this time in the car that Mario Andretti, I'm sure, is hearing little noises and wondering, he's just got one lap to go, and I'm sure that he's hearing all the little innuendos and noises in the car.
Does that really happen?
I'll tell you, Larry, it happens.
You think a guy like Mario with all those wins, he's won in sprint cars, he's won in dirt cars, winner of the Hoosier 100, he's won races at the high-banked half-mile dirt at Eldora, Grand Prix, Formula 1 wins, he's won in midgets, all those years of experience, stock cars, he won the Daytona 500. You think they'd go away?
You would think it, but I know Mario can tell you he still hears them each and every time around the track, and it's interesting because it's important also to drive just as hard on the last lap as you have all other 83 laps, because if you start to slow down, you might make a mistake then. That's what you have to be careful of. Stay in your rhythm.
You can see the great support that this Nazareth, Pennsylvania driver, originally out of Trieste, Italy, a long time ago, he and the family migrated to Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and the people here in Ohio and Central Ohio are supporting this man. Checkered flag out, and Andretti and the Lola have won again, the 6th win in a row for the Lola chassis, and the 7th in the last 8 races, and Andretti leads the league with 5 victories.
Oh, it's just like at the 500. Rutherford has spun and hit the wall. Johnny Rutherford spins and hits the wall. 96 laps are completed. If we have to end this race under yellow, what a tremendous disappointment for Tom Sneva, who it looked like was going to catch Mario Andretti. Well, we're sure that Johnny Rutherford didn't want it this way. We certainly didn't want it this way, but this race is going to end under yellow. Here comes the simultaneous yellow and white flags. There's only one more lap to go, and the tow truck isn't even at the Johnny Rutherford wrecked car in turn number 4. So they're going to end, as we showed them to you just a second ago. Mario Andretti is going to win this race. Tom Sneva is going to settle for a very disappointed second, because he was just about to challenge Mario Andretti for the lead. Danny Ungaius looks like will finish in 3rd spot, followed by Al Unser Sr. and then Bobby Rahal. Average speed of the race, 172.03. It'll be slightly less than that because they are under yellow and have less than half a lap to go.
Well, according to the radios that we've been able to monitor from the various teams, the report is it's possible that Emerson Fittipaldi, racing for the first time on a big racetrack like this, constant high speeds, may have gotten up into the loose stuff and forced Johnny Rutherford high and into the wall. But that's an unconfirmed report, of course. It's coming with a little bit of prejudice, too, from one of the teams out there, but that appears to be a possibility for the accident. Rutherford has certainly had a great weekend. The all-time fastest qualifying run in IndyCar history, led the early stages of this race, and who knows, had we not had to stop and break overnight, maybe Rutherford would have won this race going away.
They're coming down for the finish at very slow speed. Mario Andretti is going to raise his hand in victory, we assume, as the double checkers are displayed, and he does salute to the crowd. So does Tom Sneva in 2nd position.
On the main stretch now, the checkered flag flies, and Tom Sneva has done it. Tom Sneva won the race at Caesar's Palace.
Boy, there's a happy crew. Look at those guys all standing up. They didn't win the championship, but they won this race, and that's a great deal. There we have Mario Andretti, the national champion, and the Budweiser crew. Boy, now there's a happy bunch.
Don Henderson, Marty Hoyer, they begin to exchange kisses. Paul Newman is happy. A new national champion, a new race winner, John Paul Jr. in 3rd place as he screams for the line. Andretti in turn 11 has to head for the pits now On this, the white flag lap. But look at Andretti. Andretti stays out. The white flag given to Andretti. 1 lap to go, but the crew wanted him in. Does he have enough fuel? There's Danny Sullivan as he's charging as well. Can Andretti make it around?
Well, we've seen more gambling and flipping of the coins here today than I've seen in many a race. He's going for broke all the way.
This isn't Long Beach. This is Las Vegas. Emerson Fittipaldi comes in on the last lap. Can Mario Andretti keep it running? Paul Newman is holding his breath. Andretti coming into the hairpin turn onto the straightaway. Can he make it to the finish line now? Al Unser Jr. and Sr. just in front of him. Andretti's done it!
Jubilation, of course, in the Andretti pits. Paul Newman, Carl Haas. Somebody looked like they even had a bottle of champagne down here. We saw something flying. This crew is as happy now as when they won the national championship at the end of the fall in Las Vegas.
The 5th place car of Pancho Carter is in for a stop, and it looks like they're trying to get the engine restarted on that car.
I tell you, you subtract the time that he has spent in the pits, Bob, and there's your winner.
Yeah, and it's just not going to go for him. And with only 2 more laps to go, it looks like that Pancho just better stay right where he is.
Well, as we watch Andretti, who's had really another one of those storybook weekends, some of the people who were here this week who just didn't make the show, we mentioned Scott Brayton, Jim Crawford earlier. Steve Chassie was here. And by the way, Steve Chassie in that Chevrolet stock block was timing well in the top 10. He may have been the 5th or 6th fastest when he crashed out. Don Whittington was here, didn't make it. Del Coyne, Raul Buezo, Bill Whittington was the other driver.
White flag lap coming up, 199 complete. Mario Andretti moves out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. It'll be a clean sweep for him if he can pull off the win here. He has led the most laps. He has qualified on the pole, and he has led every lap of this 200-lap race here at Milwaukee. He comes off of corner number 4. Mario Andretti wins the American 200 from State Fair Park in Milwaukee. Stop number 3 on the PPG IndyCar World Series for 1985.
There's the white flag coming out for Mario Andretti. He has 1.9 miles to go, and this Portland 200 will be his. His interval over Al Unser Jr. is 24 seconds. The Bruno Giacomelli car has already stalled off the course, actually, out of fuel. He passed by it just there in turn number 1. Mario Andretti headed for turn number 2 now. Coming toward turn number 3. This is the final course for Mario Andretti.
Among the active IndyCar drivers, Mario, Al Unser, we told you earlier, Rick Mears, to whom Gary just spoke, Bobby Rahal, Gordon John Cocktail, Bobby. These are the only people who have ever won IndyCar races on road courses. Believe it or not, Johnny Rutherford, Danny Angaias, and Danny Sullivan are also other road course winners in IndyCar racing. And of course, Al Unser Jr. a year ago right here at Portland. Looks like he is destined to finish second to that man right there, number 1, Mario Andretti.
And Mario Andretti now braking in turn number 9, coming out of it, accelerating down the main straightaway, and Mario Andretti has won the Stroh's G.I. Joe's 200 from Portland International Raceway, and the crew and the car owner, Paul Newman, celebrating with a cheer for Mario.
Here comes Michael Andretti off of corner number 9. He's on the main straightaway. And the white flag is showing he only has 1 more lap to go, less than 2 miles, and this race will be over. Let's see if that car has enough fuel to go the distance. His wife looks toward the heavens and says a moment of prayer, hoping that her husband does have the fuel that will put him in victory lane for the 2nd consecutive IndyCar race. Last week, a dominant winner at Milwaukee on the Mile Oval. A completely different kind of racetrack here this afternoon in Portland, Oregon. But he still has the lead. He's rounding corner number 3 now, heading slightly uphill into corner number 5.
The gap when he passed our booth was 2.9 seconds, so he is very, very conservative. Mario is catching him at the rate of 2 seconds a lap.
He is on the backstretch on his final lap. This normally would be the 2nd fastest portion of the racetrack, but Michael Andretti is not going as fast this time as he has in previous laps. It appears as if he is going to make it. He's in corner number 9, the final corner on the racetrack. He comes off the 9th corner. The car is a little slow coming off the corner. He's out of fuel. He is out of fuel, dropping to the inside. And here comes the finish line. Who's going to win it? I think it's impossible to say at this point who won the race.
It looks like Mario.
Unbelievable. Michael ran out of fuel as the car came off the 9th corner. He dropped to the inside. Mario and Little Al were coming quickly. They pulled up and they finished literally side by side at the start-finish line. It appears as if Mario might have won, but we're going to hold off any definite conclusion on that until we can study perhaps the videotape.
Officially, we have Mario as the winner, Michael in second and Al Jr. in third. And I think Michael's wife also thinks that he's lost it because she is in tears down in pit lane at the moment.
Well, it's perhaps the closest and best IndyCar finish in history. Let's go to Jack Arute, who was at the start-finish line. Jack, in your opinion, who won?
No question. Mario Andretti beat him by a scant 4 inches. It was that close. It sputtered. It spurted. Mario, with the killer instinct, even though it was his son, stayed in the throttle as they came across the stripe. It was that close.
Well, the data speed does show indeed Mario Andretti as the winner of the race.
It will be win number 2 for Mario Andretti in 1986. He also won at Portland earlier this year. The white flag is displayed by Nick Bonoro, and one more circuit of this 2.5-mile tri-oval, and Mario Andretti will have the victory in his pocket. Mario came into this race in 3rd place in the point standings with 75. His son Michael led the point standings with 88, and Danny Sullivan was 2nd with 81. Mario can definitely make some headway in his quest for the PPG Cup for 1986. Mario Andretti now dives low into turn number 2, the tunnel turn, brings the car out for the outside retaining wall as he heads down the 1,730-foot north straightaway. Andretti can coast to victory from here. He's off of corner number 3, sets the car straight away down the long front stretch, and the checkered flag waves. Mario Andretti has won the Domino's Pizza 500 at Pocono.
Now we watch back toward the hairpin. Here he is. Mario Andretti brings it onto the pit straight, and the white flag flies for Mario Andretti. Just one more lap to go. So Mario Andretti on his way to victory. Let's go down to his pits now, and Gary.
They're getting ready to celebrate down here, and what a time of celebration. Paul Newman recently got an Oscar. Carl Haas has got out a new victory cigar, and Mario Andretti's about to get a new trophy here at Long Beach.
Well, Carl Haas and Paul Newman and Mario Andretti all beginning to smell that color of money. And as Newman says, there's nothing that smells quite like it. This is the white flag for Al Unser Jr., the 2nd place car, as he acknowledges the white flag. And Mario Andretti reduces speed just a bit. All he has to do is bring this car around the circuit one more time. Not only will Mario have the victory, but the Ilmor Chevrolet racing engine will notch its first victory in its entire history. 1 year of development with the Penske team last year. Now they bring the engine to several other teams, most notably this one, Newman Haas, and it is performed here today. 2 of those engines went by the wayside, but Mario's engine has not missed a beat. Mario Andretti makes his final left-hand turn, now pitches the car around ever so carefully, a final right-hand turn, a final burst of acceleration, and Mario Andretti has won the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach.
Well, I can't think of anything better for him right now. Look at Carl, very smooth and very calculated. Paul Newman really ecstatic by this. He so much loves his motor racing.
Here is Mario. Let's go to Gary Lee quickly.
We understand there are 4 gallons of fuel on the pit side tank. They are ready for him to stop. Tyler Alexander called Billy Camphausen over and said, can I have enough guys to push him? But apparently he's gone on by the pit entrance. He's going to stay out.
White flag is falling for Mario Andretti. This is his final lap around. Does he have enough fuel to go the entire distance? Don't go away.
Well, we commented after a second pit stop, David, that if they're calculating just right, they stopped after having gone 17 laps. There were 17 laps to go in the race. Now, Mario seems to have saved a significant amount of fuel the last 3 laps, so it should be a cakewalk.
I think generally his last stint, the last 17 laps, will run at a less fierce pace than that middle 17 anyway, so he should have saved quite a bit of fuel, and if he could do 17 laps for his second stop, he certainly should be able to do it
18
on this stop. Yeah.
Now, we should be able to see his red light on at that location, and we did not, so I think he's probably got enough to go here.
He better have.
There's Dale Coyne is still in the race.
Yeah, through turns 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Shifting up and down, 2nd and 3rd gear. There's Jeff Brabham, the runner-up car. No fuel light there. in the Honda-powered Lola of Jeff Brabham. He checks the mirrors coming down past the speed trap. Jeff Brabham in one of the fastest parts of this racetrack, 175-mile-an-hour plus speeds right there. Progress on Mario Andretti right now going around the carousel, going past the very dangerous kink coming up here. It's a right-hander. He squeezes through. You can see the skid marks. It's almost like looking at Teo Fabi 3 years ago going out through the trees.
Or Davy Jones last year, yes. The BMW GT prototype had a horrendous crash there.
Now in Canada corner, and just a few more.
It's one of the things about this track, of course, is so many tracks, if you get to this stage here, for instance, you're going to be able to coast home. But that's the one thing, of course, at Road America's Elkhart Lake that you absolutely cannot do, because it's a very steep hill, which he's just about to climb. But it doesn't look as if he's going to have to. He's
full power.
Here he comes uphill. Mario Andretti raises both hands and takes the checkered flag to win the Living Well Provimi 200. Mario Andretti has a clean sweep here this weekend, picking up 22 PPG points and putting himself in 4th position in the point standings, just 2 behind Roberto Guerrero.
The white flag, 1 more lap to go to Mario Andretti. The battle appears to be for 2nd place. Mario well out in front. He's ahead of him. Can see his son Michael. You are now riding with Michael currently in 3rd. Can Michael catch that car in front of him? That is Roberto Guerrero, the winner of this race 1 year ago.
He's got 1 lap to do it. This is his next to last chance. There's only 1 more turn after this. No way, I don't think.
Mario Andretti comes for the checkered flag. There's the checkered. Mario Andretti wins it. His first win here in 11 years.
And the white flag comes out. Mario Andretti has another lap to go, and the win will be his. Here comes 2nd and 3rd. Ray Hall, followed very closely by Danny Sullivan. Sullivan, the pole sitter in the race, is running in 3rd. Mario Andretti, meanwhile, streaks around that corner number 5, the long sweeping right-hander. Braking now and heading for turn number 5. There he is through turn number 5. And here comes 2nd and 3rd, Ray Hall and Danny Sullivan. I think Ray Hall is going to be able to hold off the challenge, but if he does, well, I mean, we gave the co-drivers award to Mario Andretti and Bobby Rahal. Mario hit the wall. Sullivan got out, or rather, Rahal got out of shape twice in turn number 3, and still these guys finished 1st and 2nd.
That's incredible. They have driven one whale of a race today. Sullivan is still moving in close now. There he is, right on Rahal's tail coming off of turn 10. It could be any way here.
This is the battle to the checkered flag. This is where Sullivan is going to have to do it if he can. He closes in, but I don't believe he's going to be able to do it. They come through turns 11 and 12. Mario wins. Ray Hall 2nd, and Danny Sullivan is 3rd. A great IndyCar race at Cleveland.
You wonder if Carl can hold his breath along with Paul Newman for the remaining distance, because as Mario comes around this time, Jim Swintel will have the white flag indicating 1 more lap to go, and Mario Andretti will be on his way to victory number 52, 2nd on the all-time list to A.J. Foyt. 31 of his wins have come on ovals, and Mario Andretti has taken that white flag. Paul Newman watches. They hope for Mario Andretti the dry spell may finally be over. Traffic just ahead of him, ever so careful now, as Mario Andretti can see the checkered flag just ahead. Twin checkered flags come out, and Mario Andretti in the Kmart Texaco Avalon Lola has taken the victory. What a weekend for Newman Haas Racing. An incredible time, and Paul Newman couldn't be happier.
It just shows you never quit. You never can tell what's going to happen.
There's a very special bond between Paul Newman and Mario Andretti, of mutual respect. Neither of them likes to be predictable. Mario's used the phrase so often, you wear the armor. He drives as a gladiator. Today he fought his way through the traffic, the tensest and most difficult race in Phoenix in many, many years, and came out front. And now all he has ahead of him is an empty track as he comes up to the checkered flag area here.